know, one of the biggest surprises this fall is the Hereford football team. Despite losing 18 starters from a team that won last year's state championship, Hereford started the season with 7 straight wins. To remain perfect, Hereford on Friday had to get past third-ranked Randallstown. That's the Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week. Before we get out to the game, let's look at this week's Classroom Stars. First from Randallstown, we salute Ryan Chapman, a strong safety who's earned a 3.7 grade point average. And from Hereford, Joe Webb is a senior split end who sports a 3.5 GPA. Now it's 10th ranked Hereford and 3rd ranked Randallstown. A Baltimore County title is at stake in the Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week.
3rd-ranked Randallstown on the road against number 10 Hereford on Friday night. Hereford going for their 21st win in a row. Meantime, Randallstown looking to avenge last year's loss to the Bulls. Started off well for the Rams on their first drive of the game. They take it right down the field to get on the board first. Marshall Conti in from 1 yard out. Just like that, it was 7-0 Randallstown. After a big-time kickoff return, Hereford would tie it up. Reg Cavender up the gut on the fullback dive play. He would add a touchdown in the second quarter, so it's 14-7 Bulls. Things looking good for the home crowd. But just as they did all night long, Randallstown came right back. Junior quarterback Archie Trader runs the option to perfection, fakes the toss and says, "Give me that. I want to make the highlight reel myself." And that he did. 15 yards later, we're all tied up again at 14. Turnovers plagued the Bulls all night long, and the errant pass ends up in James Foreman's hands. He says, "I'll take that," and he scampers in for the 25-yard INT return for touchdown. It was 21-14 Rams at the half. But Hereford was finally tied up midway through the third. Off the play fake, it's Matt Curtis. And don't feel bad, Randallstown. Even our cameraman was fooled. It was 21-all with 7 to go in the third. The Rams will then take to the air to go ahead for good. On 4th and 13, Archie Trader goes on top for his big man. That's James Jagade coming down with it behind the defense, and that put the Rams in the lead at 28-21. Hereford just couldn't get it going in the fourth quarter, and they couldn't find a handle on things. As Randallstown ends Hereford's 20-game winning streak, the Rams win at 28-21 over the defending Class 1A state champs. So Randallstown defeats Hereford, and for the Bulls, it's just their second loss in the last 33 games. Hereford certainly had their chances to win, but big turnovers inside the 20-yard line killed them all night long.
I like to think that our guys made the hits that caused the turnovers rather than them turning it over. We were getting some penetration in there on the last turnover, and I think the exchange from the quarterback and the running back was a little bit off because of the pressure.
Coach, that's all he wanted. This was the goal for the year, to beat Hereford. We did it. And Coach won't talk about him no more. That's the only team he talks about in practice. He said when we beat him, no more talking about him, and we beat him.
Thanks, Brian. By day, Bob McIver is known as the track and baseball coach at Franklin High School. By night, he's known as the Snake Man. To find out why, let's meet Bob McIver and a few of his friends. He's our Toyota Coach of the Week.
I really enjoy working with the kids more than anything else, and coaching gives you a real good outlet to do that on a slightly different plane in the classroom. It allows you to see them in a different light and really gain an appreciation for them as a complete person.
For 22 years, Bob McIver has appreciated the scores of students he's coached and taught at Franklin. But when he retires, he'll turn his attention elsewhere, like to the 250 slithering snakes he keeps at his Owings Mills home, and the 300 rats and mice he feeds them each week.
When I was about 7 or 8, I started seeing some snakes across from my house in the fields and by the stream there, and I was really interested, kind of scared of them. Didn't exactly want to touch them yet, but I was interested. Finally got up the nerve to catch some, and I've been keeping them ever since. And, I mean, you just pick them up, and they'll just sit on your hand, and most of the time won't try to go anywhere. Really tolerant of human beings.
Oh, yeah? But have you ever been bitten?
By a poison snake once. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks back in 1972, and decided that it'd probably be better to keep non-poison ones, so I don't do any more poison snakes. Most of the time, they're pretty docile, too, most kinds, and you get kind of a false feeling of security, and then I guess that's when you get bit.
And how do your runners feel about your pets?
I keep threatening the girls. I say, if you don't run any faster than that, I'm going to have to take one of them snakes down there and chase you with it. But I don't know whether it works or not. They are getting faster, so maybe it is working.
Congratulations, Bob McIver and friends. Now here's a look at some of the best student athletes. Each week, Toyota and the Baltimore Sun will recognize outstanding male and female athletes of the week. This week's winners are Lisa Zanti, a junior striker on the McDonough soccer team. Zanti had 2 goals in the upset win over top-ranked John Carroll. And Greg Peters, a sophomore goalkeeper at Mount Hebron. Greg had some incredible stops in a recent upset over previously top-ranked River Hill. We congratulate Lisa and Greg, our Toyota Athletes of the Week.
Pushed myself really hard to play well. I wanted to score, and I think that the qualities that I probably had last week was determination and drive. I wanted to win, and we wanted to beat John Carroll and show that we were back, and I think that that was our revenge, and now we're back.
Junior striker Lisa Zanti took out a revenge on John Carroll Catholic and St. Mary's with 6 goals last week. She's looking to play Division I in 2 years and make the national team. High goals for a high achiever.
I love pushing myself, and I think that soccer makes you a better person.
She's a tenacious attacker. She's a very, very creative and opportunistic forward that not only creates chances for herself, but for others.
Lisa also feels she has a tendency to be too hard on herself, but she's getting a handle on that too.
It wasn't good for my soccer, but now that I'm maturing, I've learned to push myself towards winning the game and not pushing myself towards something else.
And for helping to push McDonough into the win column last week, we congratulate Lisa Zanti, our Toyota Female Athlete of the Week.
If I want something done, I'll make sure it gets done instead of having someone else do it normally. I'll normally give orders by myself, but I also look to the leaders on the team. One of those positions you really want to be in control, and it's pretty hard to stay in control considering you're reacting to what everyone else on the field does.
And just in his 6th game back from a knee injury, sophomore Greg Peters racked up 8 stunning saves over former #1 River Hill. And although his shutout streak came to an end, his performance propelled the Vikings to the #3 ranking and a shot at the county and state championships.
We really want to win counties and states, but it's going to be, I think, maybe River Hill again that we are going to have to play, and that's going to be a great game, knowing that we have a chance this year and, you know, trying as hard as we can to make that chance come true.
Best of luck to the Vikings of Mount Hebron, and congratulations to Greg Peters, our Toyota Male Athlete of the Week.
Now let's look at some of this week's best highlights, including the outstanding play of the week.
Our highlight reel this week begins with some fancy footwork performed by star midfielder John Comey of Patterson. Look at that roundhouse masterpiece, and all you could say about it is, wow. Not to be outdone, polykeeper Nick Cox makes a spectacular reflex save to keep the Engineers close in the city championship game. And in Hereford County, a crucial save by defensive back Michael Rye as Aberdeen's Garrett Irby sprinted toward the goal line, which kept the Eagles from putting any points on the board. And for some defensive pointers from our friends in Hereford, Dan Saunders says, welcome to my neighborhood. Drop in again sometime, won't you? Then back across town, we find CM Wright's man of the hour, Hardy McSpadden, who fields his punt at his own 10-yard line. And check out Hardy's moves. Goes towards the sideline, sees some daylight in the middle, and he's going all the way for the 90-yard touchdown romp and our outstanding play of the week. Great job, Hardy.
When we come back, we'll meet this week's Papa John's featured student athlete. Welcome back. Danielle Shearer, a senior at North Carroll High School, is an athlete for all seasons. She plays soccer in the fall, basketball in the winter, and plays lacrosse in the spring. Danielle is also a near-perfect student in the classroom. Let's meet Danielle Shearer, the Papa John's featured student athlete.
I guess I have that little thing inside me, like I have to be number one, I guess you would call me a perfectionist.
Danielle Shearer's drive for perfection is matched by her desire to achieve both on and off the playing field.
I try my hardest. I express my opinion in the classroom, but I don't know. On the playing field, it's so much different. Like, that's where I know how to play, and I will definitely give suggestions. And don't know, I hope I'm leading them. I don't want to be pushy at all. I hope so.
What Danielle seems to be pushing is a head start on her future. She's taking classes at Villa Julie College, which she feels will help her make an easier transition to a university next year.
It makes me feel more relaxed. Like I'm more prepared when I go off to college next year. Like I'm going away. I'm not even going to a school in Maryland. So I feel that I'll be more prepared and more like experienced, and I won't be so nervous and so hard to get used to it. So I'm glad I made that choice, and I'm glad that I'm doing that now instead of just going off and working and doing something. Like, I think this is more productive use of my time. It's a whole different atmosphere, like managing your time, and like the instructors, like getting to know them and their attitudes and what they expect of you. It's different than here, where the teachers here are, you have to do this, you have to do this. And college is more, it's more on you. Like, they're not going to go out and tell you, homework's due tomorrow. You get the syllabus, and you have to, it's your duty to get the work in on time. It's all on you. So, hopefully it gives me more responsibility. Like, I'm now looking at what I'm going to have to take on in the future.
Playing Division I is definitely in Danielle's plans. Well, which will it be? Soccer, lacrosse, or basketball? With an early start on her college career, Danielle Shearer has many opportunities knocking on her door. She knows what she wants and what it takes to get her there.
I've made my decision already, actually. I want to play Division I lacrosse. And it was definitely a hard choice, but I chose lacrosse. I love the sport to death, and I guess that's what I excel most at, so that's what I chose. Danielle also feels she is making the right choice when it comes to her priorities. I hope to play sports my whole life, but that's not going to be my career. And I definitely want to do something with my life and be successful in a job, in a career. And hopefully sports will open that door for me, but I definitely want to achieve in my studies, and that's what going to college is all about. It's not about like sports per se, like, even though I would love it to be, and that's what's getting me a chance to play at these schools and a chance to study at these schools. But yeah, definitely academics comes first.
Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. We'll be back again next Sunday. Don't forget the Sun's coverage tomorrow of the Ravens game against the Green Bay Packers. And, of course, don't forget our continued extensive coverage of local high school sports. I'm Jerry Bembry, sports writer with the Sun. Until next Sunday, have a great school week ahead. The Toyota Prep